Walmart is turning 4 of their stores into e-commerce labs as the increases in online sales are surging. So they're going to be taking 2 of their stores, 2 in Bentonville and 2 other stores to be announced, and they're going to turn them into laboratories to test how to turn the physical store into a more effective online fulfillment center. So some of the things that they're doing, they're going to be using digital tools like an AR scanner to scan multiple boxes in the back of a house before they're bringing them out to the floor. In the past, they were using 1 scan at a time per box, so obviously much more efficient. And then on the floor, employees will be using other tools like handhelds, and they're doing some updated signage so that they can speed order picking. Now, for me, I thought that the biggest tell or cool thing, I guess I'll say, about this story is that much to the theme that they had with the Sam's Club Now stores, Walmart is putting their tech teams on site in the stores so that they can do rapid prototyping to help improve these labs and the efficiency of these labs. So I think this is really cool. It's a smart use of these stores to actually be live living labs. And also I think this is another bellwether of just what the footprint of stores are going to continue to look like. We talked a little bit about it last week with the Whole Foods 1-hour grocery fulfillment for Prime members. And so I think that this is something to pay close attention to see, what Walmart's doing, what the rapid prototyping in the stores is looking like, and what the footprint evolves to be as a result of this.
So you like this?
I do. I think it's good. I'm pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, scale of 1 to 10. Are you 9, 10?
Well, I mean, I'm not kidding. I'll say a good solid 7.5.
You that high? You're 7? Okay.
I am.
Yeah, Emma, what do you think?
I'd probably put it at a 5. I like
You're 5.
watching.
Why?
I like watching what Walmart does, but I still just don't really shop there. And until there's some kind of innovative kind of technology that really draws me to Walmart, that's kind of why I put it at a 5.
Or something about the shopping experience.
Yeah.
But don't you think this helps with that? Do you
Yes,
think this,
definitely.
in terms of a tactic, okay, got it. Yeah. So Ann, you're a 7, huh? I don't know if I'm that high. You said 7, right? I don't know if I'm that high. I think I'm a 6 on this. I think it's cool. I think I want to learn more. I think if they do this right, I think this could be Superman in disguise as Clark Kent for Walmart. Yes, I just dropped that for you, Gary and Ricardo, if you're listening, because it's cool. It's like you said, it's in the vein of Sam's Club Now, which is let's take a store, make it a concept environment to try new things. I think AR is super cool too. We just had a podcast with Scan It where we talked a lot about that. I'm a huge fan of the AR for store operations, not as much for consumer shopping experience, but for store operations. 100% yes. So it's cool that they're saying that's a key piece of that. I didn't catch the part about them living on site too. So that's pretty cool, because I think you're right. That is a special sauce. But they've got to do it. And I think, hey, if we know anything, they have the new chief, what is he? Chief Omni Strategy Officer, I think, Casey Carl. And if we know he believes in one thing from personal experience, it's fresh from the ground up thinking. That's just my question with this. There wasn't enough for me to know whether or not this is fresh from the ground up thinking, or is it 2 test stores where you just try, or 4 test stores where you're just trying incremental things. And so I'm still not quite sure whether this is Sam's Club Now or incremental improvements over time in 4 stores. I also think 4 stores is a lot. I was curious what you think on that, Ann, too. Why not just do 1 store and do it more conceptually like Sam's Club Now and figure out where you want to go, or full experience designs in 1, then 2, then 3 stores, instead of having 4 things peppered around. That seems weird to me.
Well, one thing that I am hopeful that when they announce the other 2 stores, is that they are in cold weather states. And that is because Bentonville is one example, but they're in the South. You don't have seasonality there. And Chris, we were just talking about this. Yeah. I went to do a Target curbside pickup the other day, and they're, restriping the lanes or doing something with their curbside arrangement at our local Target. And it was crazy. I mean, they had a whole length of a lot of, temporary spaces for drive up, and it took a considerable amount of time, and we don't even have snow yet. So I think that the actual fulfillment and the length of time and just what the customer experience is like when you start to add in other elements of weather and of, you know, time of day. And especially once we get out of this like pandemic life and we get back to the regular, you know, everybody's crowding at 5:30 to get their stuff on their way home from work or school. I think that will be an experiment, or part of the experiment, that I think will be pretty critical as they kind of move forward.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, I think we talk about this all the time, but like business models are business models, and cycle times are cycle times for a reason. And you have to figure out how you're changing them. Otherwise the business model can't move the way you want it to. And you're right, like all this activity of buy online, pick up in store, curbside activity, you're going to run into operational bottlenecks, and you're going to, as you know, holiday season starts to peak, you can't get all the cars through the parking lots in the way you traditionally would. You can't manage that the way you traditionally would. So there's going to be a give or take. That's why I think, back to the point, I would love to see, I mean, Kroger was talking about this. They haven't done it very much with it lately, or I haven't seen anything, but like, you know, go to pick up only store, go to pick up only locations. I'd like to see more concept work like that. And still, again, just pivoting Walmart to be a better Walmart, which I think is important. Don't get me wrong, but we've always said like you have to have that experimentation going on with other stuff as well. So I think your point is very keen. It's a great observation.